my name is Carolyn Yarina, and this is another Tuesday Tidbit presented by Regroup Advisors. Today, I'm talking about giving an elevator pitch and presenting your business. So something to think about when you're giving an elevator pitch is you need to use language that anyone can understand. You want to think about how would you explain your business to your grandma or your grandfather? How would you explain it to a 70-year-old kid on what you do and why? And when you're thinking about this, let me give some examples. So I'm a 2-time founder, CEO I've gone through this process of simplifying a complex technology into its simple basics. So for example, when you're having a conversation in an elevator, in a cocktail party with a new investor, you want to catch their attention immediately. You want to bring in a hook. For example, if in my past company, we had a medical device, right? So I could explain this with an explanation of your own blood is better than someone else's. Imagine if there's been a car crash or an accident and a patient is bleeding internally, that clinician needs to capture blood that's pulled internally, filter it and give it back to the same patient in the same surgery so they don't need someone else's. I started that story with something that is common sense. Your own blood is better than someone else's. It gets that engagement and gets someone nodding along in that conversation. And you can do this with a story. You can do this with something that people can relate to, that they understand. But imagine if we're having a conversation and I give the explanation of our technology. It's an intraoperative autologous blood transfusion device that's used in cases of hemoperitoneum. And you probably would check out. You'd say, wow, that's maybe a smart person. That sounds like, you're doing really interesting things, but you don't engage because it's technical language and you feel stupid in that. And imagine you're raising money for an investor. The last thing you want to do is make your investor feel stupid, because if they don't feel smart, if they don't feel engaged, they're not going to want to continue the conversation and to continue to have that discussion with you. And I do want to caveat this with noting that technical language has a place. It's important as well in building a business and building relationships to use the right language to show that you're a part of the club, that you are an insider, you know where things are. So if I'm talking to a doctor and I can check that they have that background, I might drop some words that are of technical jargon to see, do they engage? Do they understand what I'm talking about? And then continue to use that technical jargon. But I do also want to make sure that I'm not using the wrong language in the wrong location. So these are just a couple of techniques that I use. So again, 1, you need some sort of hook. You need a way for the person who's with you to engage. 2, is there something that you can get them nodding along? And then 3, how do you distill what you're doing to its simplest value proposition, talking about why that person should care about what's there. And then finally, leave the conversation with 2 things. 1, with an ask of what do you want from that person? What are the next steps that you want to email them or set up another conversation to talk about how you could work together, about how your product might support their business. And then also it's great to leave it with some sort of exciting news, even if it's small, ending it with, I'm excited to announce that we've added a new feature. I'm excited to share that just last week we added a new customer. Doesn't matter what it is, but you want that feeling of momentum and that feeling of excitement to leave with that person as they walk away from that conversation. So with that, that's been another Tuesday Tidbit with Regroup Advisors, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.
If you've enjoyed this episode of Business Plain and Simple Tuesday Tidbits by Regroup Advisors and don't want to miss future topics, well, like and follow us wherever you get your podcast. Interested in learning how Regroup Advisors can help your company? Contact us at info@regroupadvisors.com or online at regroupadvisors.com.